Welcome to Total Knowledge Zone. To see similar videos, subscribe to Total Knowledge Zone YouTube channel and also press the bell icon so that you keep getting all the notifications of the videos. Today in this video, I will solve all the questions of Himachal Pradesh Judicial Service Preliminary Exam Papers 2016.
आज हम सॉल्व कर रहे हैं क्वेश्चन पेपर 2016 पेपर 1 सिविल लॉ 1। क्वेश्चन नंबर 1, द एडजुडिकेशन ऑफ अ कोर्ट ऑफ लॉ मे बी ए डिक्री ओनली, बी ऑर्डर ओनली, सी डिक्री एंड ऑर्डर, डी नन ऑफ द अबव। करेक्ट आंसर इज सी डिक्री एंड ऑर्डर। Question 2. In which case the Supreme Court held that in the partition suit more than one preliminary decree can be passed? A. Fuljan versus Gopal Lal, AIR 1967 SC 1470. B. Balraj Taneja versus Sunil Madan, AIR 1999 SC 3381. C. Babar Saving Machine Company versus त्रिलोकीनाथ महाजन, AIR 1978 SC 1436. D. संतोष कुमार वर्सेस भाई मूल सिंह, AIR 1958 SC 321. करेक्ट आंसर इज सी बाबर सेविंग मशीन कंपनी वर्सेस त्रिलोकीनाथ महाजन, AIR 1978 SC 1436. क्वेश्चन 3. In Rajasthan SRTC versus Krishnakant, AIR 1995 SC 1715, the Supreme Court laid down the A. Principles of res judicata, B. Principles applicable in industrial disputes, C. Jurisdiction of court of small causes, D. Jurisdiction of foreign court. Correct answer is B. Principles applicable to industrial disputes. Question 4. A defendant should present a written statement of his defense within 30 days from the service of summons on him. The said period can be extended up to A. 30 days, B. 60 days, C. 90 days, D. 100 days. Correct answer is C. 90 days. Question 5. The plaint shall be rejected by the court under Order 7, Rule 11, Clause A of the Code of Civil Procedure if it is not filled in A. Duplicate, B. Duplicate, C. Quadruplicate, D. 5 copies. Correct answer is A. Duplicate. Question 6. What is not a material irregularity under Rule 90 of Order 21 of the Code of Civil Procedure? A. Omission to issue notice under Rule 22 of Order 21. B. Omission to publish sale proclamation under Rule 66 of Order 21. C. Omission to state the revenue or rent payable on the land. D. Omission to record reason for the adjournment of sale. Correct answer is D. Omission to record reason for the adjournment of sale. Question 7. The assessed held to be not available for the rateable distribution under Section 73 of the Code of Civil Procedure. A. Sale proceeds released from auction sale. B. Deposit made by a defaulting purchaser. C. Money released in execution of decree. D. Deposit of earnest money. Correct answer is D. Deposit of earnest money. Question 8. Mark the incorrect statement. A second appeal lies to the High Court on the ground of a substantial question of law. B. A revision application lies to the High Court on the ground of jurisdictional error. C. The High Court can decide a question of fact in the exercise of its revisional jurisdiction. D. The High Court can decide a question of fact in the second appeal in certain circumstances. Correct answer is C. The High Court can decide a question of fact in the exercise of its revisional jurisdiction. Question 9. Jurisdiction of a court is decided by A. Subject matter of the dispute, B. Pecuniary value of the suit, C. Place where the dispute arose, D. All of the above. Correct answer is D. All of the above. Question 10. A suit relating to immovable property shall be instituted at a place A. Where the defendant resides, B. Where the property is situated, C. Where the plaintiff decides, D. None of the above. Correct answer is B. Where the property is situated. Question 11. Qubit shall not remain the first after the expiry of A. 30 days from the date on which it was loaded. B. 60 days from the date on which it was loaded. C. 90 days from the date on which it was loaded. D. 120 days from the date on which it was loaded. Correct answer is C. 90 days from the date on which it was loaded. Question 12. The provisions regarding inherent powers of the code are mentioned in the Code of Civil Procedure in A. Section 135A to 141, B. Section 148 to 153B, C. Section 31 to 35B, D. None of the above. Correct answer is B. Section 148 to 153B. Question 13. Under Section 47 of the Code of Civil Procedure, which question does not relate to the execution, discharge or satisfaction of decree? A. Whether a decree is executable. B. Whether the property is liable to be sold in execution of the decree. C. Whether the decree is fully satisfied. D. Whether the decree is fraudulent or collusive. Correct answer is D. Whether the decree is fraudulent or collusive. Question 14. The pleadings should contain A. Only facta probanda. B. Only facta probantia. C. Facta probanda and facta probantia. D. None of the above. Correct answer is A. Only facta probanda. Question 15. Rule 6 of Order 12 of the Code of Civil Procedure provides A. Notice to admit documents. B. Judgment on admissions. C. Production of documents. D. Admission of documents. Correct answer is B. Judgment on admissions. Question 16. Under Section 58, Clause 1A of the Code of Civil Procedure, no order of detention of the judgment debtor shall be made where the decretal amount is A. Rupees 2000, B. Rupees 2500, C. Rupees 3500, D. Rupees 4000. Correct answer is A. Rupees 2000. Question 17. Under Section 1 of the Indian Evidence Act, the proceedings which are specifically excluded from the operation of the Indian Evidence Act. A. Proceeding before industrial tribunals. B. Proceeding before arbitrators. C. Proceeding before administrative tribunals. D. None of the above. Correct answer is B. Proceeding before arbitrators. Question 18. When one fact is declared by the Indian Evidence Act to the conclusive proof of another, the court on proof of one fact A. shall not allow evidence to be given for the purpose of disproving it. B. may allow evidence to be given for the purpose of disproving it. C. both A and B. D. none of the above. Correct answer is A. shall not allow evidence to be given for the purpose of disproving it. Question 19. Which illustration of Section 114 of the Indian Evidence Act is based upon the maxim omnia presumpta writ et solimentar es acta? A. Illustration A. B. Illustration D. C. Illustration E. D. Illustration G. Correct answer is C. Illustration E. Question 20. Section 93 of the Indian Evidence Act applies to the A. ambiguitas patens. B. ambiguitas latens. C. both A and B. D. none of these. Correct answer is A. ambiguitas patens. Question 21. Section 31 of the Indian Evidence Act says that admission are not conclusive proof of the matters admitted, but they may operate as A. res judicata. B. res gestae. C. estoppels. D. none of these. Correct answer is C. estoppels. Question 22. Out of the following which is not a secondary evidence? A. copies made from the original by mechanical process. B. copies made from and compared with the original. C. oral accounts of the content of a document given by a person who has himself seen and read it. D. oral account of a copy compared with the original. Correct answer is D. oral account of a copy compared with the original. Question 23. What is not correct for the admissibility of the dying declaration under Section 32, Clause 1 of the Indian Evidence Act? A. The person making statement must have died. B. Statement must have been made as to cause to his death. C. It is not necessary that cause of death must be in question. D. It is not necessary that statement must have been made in expectation of death. Correct answer is C. It is not necessary that cause of death must be in question. Question 24. Which is not public document? A. Record of tribunal. B. Record of municipal board. C. Memorandum of association of a company. D. None of the above. Correct answer is D. None of the above. Question 25. A disputed handwriting can be proved by A. Calling an expert. B. Examining a person acquainted with the handwriting of the writer of the question document. C. Comparison of the two admitted and dispute documents. D. All of the above. Correct answer is D. All of the above. Question 26. The dispositions relevant under Section 33 of Indian Evidence Act but is subject to the control of A. Section 156 of the Indian Evidence Act. B. Section 157 of the Indian Evidence Act. C. Section 158 of the Indian Evidence Act. D. None of the above. Right answer is C. Section 158 of the Indian Evidence Act. Question 27. A person who has taken solemn promise of silence gives evidence in writing in the open court. His evidence shall be deemed to be A. Oral evidence. B. Documentary evidence. C. Secondary evidence. D. None of the above. Correct answer is A. Oral evidence. Question 28. The professional communication between an advocate and his client can be disclosed before the court. A. With the consent of the client. B. Without the consent of the client if made in furtherance of any illegal purpose. C. Without the consent of the client if the advocate comes to know that any crime or fraud has been committed since the commencement of his employment. D. All of the above. Correct answer is D. All of the above. Question 29. The presumption under Section 112 of the Indian Evidence Act is relevant when there is dispute relating to the A. Maternity of the child. B. Paternity of the child. C. Both A and B. D. Guardianship of the child. Correct answer is B. Paternity of the child. Question 30. Burden of proof under Section 101 of the Indian Evidence Act. A. Never shifts. B. Goes on shifting as the trial proceeds. C. May shift. D. May shift with the permission of the court. Correct answer is A. Never shifts. Question number 31. Which one of the following is not a correct statement about expert opinion? A. The opinion of an expert is rarely conclusive. B. Facts which are irrelevant become relevant when they support the opinion of experts. C. Opinion of expert is binding on the judge always. D. Evidence of experts is a suggestive piece of evidence. Correct answer is C. Opinion of expert is binding on the judge always. Question number 32. A witness cannot refresh his memory by A. Referring to any writing made by the witness. B. Referring to any copy of the document by the witness with the court's permission. C. Referring to any writing made by any other person and read by the witness. D. Referring to another witness for taking his assistance. Correct answer is D. Referring to another witness for taking his assistance. Question 33. Under Section 6 of the Specific Relief Act 1963, a suit for possession of an immovable property can be filed within A. 13 days of disposition. B. 3 months of disposition. C. 6 months of disposition. D. 1 year of disposition. Correct answer is C. 6 months of disposition. Question 34. Under Section 7 of the Specific Relief Act 1963, recovery of specific movable property may recover it in the manner provided by the A. Specific Relief Act 1963. B. Indian Contract Act 1872. C. Code of Civil Procedure 1908. D. Transfer of Property Act 1882. Correct answer is C. Code of Civil Procedure 1908. Question 35. Under Section 9 of the Specific Relief Act 1963, the defendant may plead his defense under the A. Law of Contracts, B. Code of Civil Procedure, C. Transfer of Property Act, D. None of the above. Correct answer is A. Law of Contracts. Question 36. Under Section 33 of the Specific Relief Act 1963, the compensation is payable if A. The party received the benefit, B. The contract is without consideration, C. Both A and B, D. None of the above. Correct answer is A. The party received the benefit. Question 37. Section 34 of the Specific Relief Act 1963 sanctions A. Every type of declaration, B. Only a declaration of legal character, C. Only a declaration of a right to property, D. A declaration of legal character or of a right to property. Correct answer is D. A declaration of legal character or of a right to property. Question 38. Specific relief can be granted for A. Enforcing penal laws, B. Enforcing individual civil rights, C. Both A and B, D. None of the above. Correct answer is B. Enforcing individual civil rights. Question 39. Section 11 of the Specific Relief Act refers specific performance of contracts connected with A. Arbitration, B. Trusts, C. Both A and B, D. None of these. Correct answer is B. Trusts. Question 40. Section 12, Clause 2 of the Specific Relief Act 1963 applies where the part which remains unperformed of the contract is A. Small proportion, B. Considerable part, C. Equal part, D. None of these. Correct answer is A. Small proportion. Question 41. Section 20 of the Himachal Pradesh Court Act 1976 contains the provision regarding appeals from A. District Judge, B. Subordinate judges, C. High Court, D. State Government. Correct answer is A. District Judge. Question 42. Classes of courts are explained in the Himachal Pradesh Court Act 1976 in A. Section 2, B. Section 3, C. Section 4, D. Section 5. Correct answer is B. Section 3. The expression corporation mentioned in Section 8B of the Indian Stamp Act 1899 shall have the meaning as assigned in A. The Depositories Act 1996, B. The Indian Companies Act 1956, C. The Securities Contract Regulation Act 1956, D. The Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. Correct answer is C. The Securities Contract Regulation Act 1956. Question 44. Section 8A of the Indian Stamp Act, which deals the provision regarding securities dealt in depository not liable to stamp duty, was inserted by A. Act 90 of 1958, B. Act 43 of 1995, C. Act 22 of 1996, D. Act 18 of 2005. Correct answer is C. Act 22 of 1996. Question 45. Soldier under the Indian Stamp Act 1899 includes any person who is enrolled under A. The Indian Army Act 1911, B. Air Force Act 1950, C. Navy Act 1794, D. None of the above. Correct answer A. The Indian Army Act 1911. Question 46. Statement under the Indian Stamp Act 1899 means disposition of A. Only movable property, B. Only immovable property, C. Movable or immovable property, D. None of the above. Correct answer C. Movable or immovable property. Question 47. Madras Refineries versus Chief Controlling Revenue Authority, Board of Revenue AIR 1977 SC 500 explains the application of A. Section 3 of the Indian Stamp Act, B. Section 4 of the Indian Stamp Act, C. Section 7 of the Indian Stamp Act, D. Section 8 of the Indian Stamp Act. Correct answer B. Section 4 of the Indian Stamp Act. Question 48. Under Section 32 of the Indian Stamp Act, who certify the instrument? A. Collector. B. Chief Controlling Revenue Authority. C. Both A and B. D. None of the above. Correct answer A. Collector. Question 49. Section 35 of the Indian Stamp Act 1899 donates A. Explanation and impounding of instruments. B. Instrument not duly stamped inadmissible in evidence. C. Adjudication as to proper stamp. D. Allowance for spoiled stamps. Correct answer B. Instrument not duly stamped inadmissible in evidence. Question 50. Under Section 57 of the Indian Stamp Act 1899, the Chief Controlling Revenue Authority refers to the case arise in the state to the A. State Government. B. Collector. C. High Court. D. None of above. Correct answer C. High Court.